We're finally here. Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse playoff pregame show. We are finally here. It's been months. It's been like a year for me since I was last this excited about a game for the playoffs. Right now, I am so hyped. Wearing my Knicks hat, man. It's orange and blue all the way. Today at MSG. That's right. Game 1 is at MSG today. Begins in about 20 minutes or so. I just came on to, share my enthusiasm for this team and for the prospects of a good playoff run. There's been a lot of talk out there about the Pistons. I'm even seeing lower thirds on ESPN saying, are Knicks fans right to be worried and things like that? I mean, are you worried? I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. I have a feeling that this series is going to be, I wouldn't say easy, but it's going to be very, very a resounding victory for the New York Knicks. Welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George. This is your first time here. Please subscribe. Turn on a notification bell so you're alerted when I go live, like right now. Hit the thumbs up button for me. I might try to do a halftime show as well today. And, of course, I will be doing a post-game show, no doubt whatsoever. Here is the schedule for the Knicks versus Pistons series. Today's Game 1. Obviously, Monday's Game 2 at MSG. It's a 7:30 start. It'll be broadcast on TNT. And then Game 3 will be Thursday, April 24th in Detroit. First game in Detroit, that'll be a 7 p.m. start, also on TNT. And then next Sunday, over a week from now, on April 27th, the Knicks will play the Pistons for Game 4, and then we will see if a Game 5, a 6, or 7 will be necessary. Is this thing streaming correctly? On my end, it shows that it's not. Let me know in the chat there. Shout out to everybody. Rock's Daddy, what's up? Justin Bucano, good to see you, man. Shokwan. All right, let's get into this. One thing, good news, very good news. Ariel Hukporti is active and available. Most of the beat writers don't think he'll play much in this series. I'm going to disagree. I am going to disagree. I think one of the main reasons why they, I'm not going to say they rushed him back, but if they didn't feel that they needed him, they didn't feel that he was going to play a role, I don't think they would have made him available for the postseason roster. But if Thibs goes to the double big lineup of playing Mitch Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns on the floor together, if they play on the floor together, then we will need to have a real bona fide backup center because both of our centers will be in the lineup. And Precious Achiuwa, maybe he can play a little bit in a Pistons series, but there's no way he can play against the Celtics or the Cavs or anybody else moving on. So having Ariel Hukporti now is a good sign for the double big lineup becoming a reality during this playoffs. On my end, I don't know what's going on here, but on my end, I'm glad it's going well for you guys. On my end, it's stuttering. Let's keep moving here. One thing I wanted to show you guys is this. I want to show you, because there's a lot of talk that the Knicks should be afraid of the Pistons and how, they've done a miraculous resurgence there, which they have. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But in that discussion, a lot of that is downplaying what the Knicks have achieved this season. And everyone returns to, oh, yeah, but they're 0-8 against the two teams above them, 0-12 against the top three teams when you include OKC. And that's all legitimate concerns. Absolutely. But against the rest of the NBA, the Knicks have handled it very well. Then people point to the contest between the Pistons and the Knicks themselves, where the Knicks only won one game, the first game, and they lost the next three. Well, one of those games did have Karl Anthony Towns, which was it was the third game. And in the second game against the Pistons, Towns, that's where he first busted his hand, if you guys remember that. I think it was a play against Isaiah Stewart or something. Not busted it, but, kind of injured it. And it really affected them in that game, and the Pistons were able to pull that game out. Then in Game 3, Towns did not play. And in Game 4, and also remember, Mitch Robinson never played any of these games. Mitch didn't face them at all. And in Game 4, Mitch wasn't there for the final game, which was the third to last game of the season. There was no Mitch, no OG, and no Josh Hart. That's a lot for this team to be without and be able to, face a tough opponent like the Detroit Pistons. So you can make a lot of excuses. You can point to a lot of factors as to why the Knicks struggled against the Pistons. And we've seen in the past where regular season matchups don't really end up giving you a glimpse into what could happen in the playoffs. It becomes a whole different season. And so then when I started thinking about, okay, it is lagging a little bit. Okay. Then when I was thinking about, okay, well, all this talk about the Pistons being so incredible, right? Well, I looked at the schedule at their results since February 1st. Okay, so right here, since February 1st, all these games here, you would be shocked to hear, or maybe not so much, only 4 of those wins came against 500 teams. That's right. Only 4 of those wins came against 500 teams. So in about 29 games, I think, 34 games. In 34 games of their 20 victories, only 4 came against winning teams. Interestingly enough, the same goes for the Knicks. Same goes for the Knicks. Only 4 wins, and it was Houston, where we got Memphis, Dallas. No, not Dallas. Dallas was Milwaukee, and what was the final one against a winning team? Milwaukee. There's one other one in here. So I found that pretty interesting that they're very similar in terms of that. Their records against the winning teams. But remember here, the Pistons won one more game during this stretch than the Knicks did. Just one more game. The Knicks won the same amount of games, 4 against winning teams. But the Knicks didn't have Jalen Brunson for 16 games. That's right, 15 games. And they were missing OJ during that period. And they were missing, actually, Mitch came back on the 28th against Memphis, that Memphis game. So the Knicks were playing shorthanded during the same period that the Pistons were supposedly excelling, and meanwhile their records are nearly identical. The big difference was the loss to the Pistons, the third to last game of the season. So in terms of where these teams actually are at heading into this final matchup, it's, in my opinion, it's fool's gold to believe that the Pistons have the upper hand. And when you look at the smart money, the Vegas money is on the Knicks. The Knicks have to come out, take care of business. Game 1, I want any kind of a victory. I don't care what kind it is, but if it's a nice, clear, resounding victory, even better. I'm expecting Jalen Brunson, who looks supremely confident right now, to come out and just blow them out of the water. He's averaged since the 2023 postseason, he is the leading scorer in the playoffs. I believe that's the stat, 30.3 points per game. I think he's going to average at least that, maybe 35 against the Pistons. And then we need Mr. Towns to come down and deliver some pain. That's right, Mr. Towns has got to deliver some pain. But Mitch Robinson is also going to be a huge factor. The Knicks defense has taken a leap upward since he has rejoined the squad. The Knicks defensive rating, which is 100 points scored per 100 attempts, possessions. 111.2 is where they're at now, which is 8th best defense in the NBA since Mitch returned, by the way. And then Josh Hart, playoff riser. He had a nice week of rest-ish. I mean, no games per se. I'm sure he was practicing, and he was practicing, working on his shot 3 times a day. He said in an interview during the week, but these are his stats from last year's playoffs. Fabulous. If he can come anywhere close to this, the Knicks will roll over the Detroit Pistons, and man, will that second round be fabulous. Keep going here. And then Mr. Towns versus Detroit. He only played 3 games against them. Remember, I mentioned that he missed the third game against them. He averaged 24 points a game, 11 rebounds, basically his season averages. His three-point shooting, 43%. His overall field goal shooting was down 46% compared to his season average of 52%, I believe, his season average. So that take a dip, but nothing else did. So I'm expecting him to basically lean into the pick and pop, the whole squad. Pick and pop. Now, really pop, not just drift down to the free throw line. That's not a pick and pop. Pick and pop out behind the three-point arc, and Mr. Brunson is going to have to do a concerted effort to find Cat. Got to get him off early. Got to get Mikal Bridges going early, and OG feed him. I believe if the Knicks come out, if Brunson comes out, and with the mindset of getting his other 3 big guys rolling right away, and then he'll have his time later on to get his, or to if it's even needed. That is the best way for this Knicks teams to start off offensively. Now on the defense, I haven't heard yet who is in the starting lineup. What's up, Lex? Thank you for joining me, brother. Best mod around. If you guys hear the announcement of the starting lineup at all, just post it in the chat. I would appreciate that. There's still some people think Mitch should start and bring Hart off the bench. I made a pretty good argument for it in the live I did with Lee. And he also made a good argument for, why we got to stick with where we're at. So it's interesting. We're going to see the mindset here. If I have a feeling that Hart is going to start. Thibs making that big of an adjustment right away in game 1 seems unlikely to me, but it's something that if things don't go well in game 1, or there's just clear evidence that the Knicks are just so much better with the double big lineup of Cat and Mitch together, then I think he will maybe turn to start Mitch in place of Hart. And then you have Hart coming off the bench. He has to face the other opponents bench themselves, and he'll be fresh. He can use his live legs and body to sprint up and down the court and make the Pistons chase them. The Pistons are a fast team, so we need to take opportunities, create opportunities on the defensive end, create deflections, steals, blocks, whatever it is to get out on the break and get those easy transition buckets. That is another key aspect to this series for the Knicks, and holding on to the ball, protecting the ball, especially Towns. He's been sloppy with the ball. Hart's been sloppy with the ball, and Brunson can be sloppy with the ball at times. And those are momentum killers, and they give life to the opponent. So that is, but inversely, the Knicks defense have to push Cade to his limits, make him think instead of just react, make him think more, because when he starts thinking, I think he ends up making more mistakes, and he is turnover prone himself. And he's not a great pure three-point shooter, though his shooting has all gone up this season. He's playing like an all-NBA guy that I thought he was going to be. But guess what? We have 2 all-NBA guys on our team, and we have an all-defensive, clearly OG is an all-defensive guy, and Mitch is worthy of an all-defensive team nomination one day. And Mikal Bridges has been the second runner-up. And interesting enough, Mikal Bridges has had the most impact versus Cade in terms of percentages, in terms of shooting percentages versus each opponent. Mikal Bridges is by far the best. He's held Cade into the 30% in his field goal percentages. So even though it didn't look that great in the final game with Cade versus the Knicks and Mikal covering him, the other 3 games, Bridges has done a decent job. Mikal has cooked us, for sure. He had a triple-double at the Garden, and I think some people were saying that may even have sparked this resurgence in the Pistons, this belief in themselves. Good for them. That all ends today. Cannot wait for it. No change in the starting lineup. Okay, I didn't think so. That's one of those things that if shit goes bad, we might see a change there. Cannot lose in the Garden. That's right, E-Money. That's right. We got Mel R in the house. E-Money. Keith Watkins, what's up, man? Ajay, I think that's how you say that. Cool name. Hell no, not worried. I was more worried about Philly. Yeah, remember last year, a year ago? I mean, I did believe that we could beat the Sixers, especially because we were getting Mitch back, and I knew that was going to really help us against Embiid. Plus, we still had iHeart back then. I felt good about our chances to beat the Sixers, but I will say this: I was more concerned about facing the Sixers last year than I am about facing the Pistons this year. And it's interesting because even last year, a lot of people were picking the Knicks over the Sixers. The narrative in the in the national media was Knicks are coming, Knicks are the team. Perkins Perk became a big fan of the Knicks during the season. He was a big champion of ours, hailing a possibility of Knicks going on a deep run. But this year, that definitely has shifted. One thing I do want to mention here, and Tommy Beer tweeted this out during the week, at the beginning of the week, the Knicks went 37-8, an .822 winning percentage in the 45 games in which they made 12 or more three-pointers this season. The Knicks went 14-23, a .378 winning percentage in the 37 games in which they made fewer than 12 three-pointers this season. Interestingly, one of those games where the Knicks did not do well from the three, or made 12 three-pointers but still lost, was against the Detroit Pistons. They made only 11 in the game on April 10th. And then on, what was the other game here? On January 13th, they made 15, but they lost that game 124-119. But that was the game without Cat. And then on December 7th, they made 11 threes. They shot only 32% from the three-point line. They lost that game. But the very first matchup against them, they connected on 18 of 38 threes. They shot 47.4%. I think these Knicks can have that kind of game in them against these Pistons. They can replicate what they did in that first game and bring it to them, make them sweat, put them on their back of their heels, and make them start second-guessing their whole approach. That's what you want, an opponent that is confused. That is the key here. And the Knicks have the ability to do that because they have so many scoring options. And especially when Deuce is out on the court, and there's no way other than to say that when Deuce is on the court, the Knicks are a resoundingly winning team. That lineup with Deuce in place of Hart is a totally dominant lineup. So I have a feeling that he's going to be a key. He's going to get a lot of play time. It's going to be interesting to see if we see Landry Shamet today. I don't think we're going to see Precious at all, and that'll be fine. And I don't think we're going to see DeLon Wright unless there's some foul trouble for Brunson and for Deuce. Because Payne, I think Cam Payne, I mean, Thibs, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Thibs turns to Cam Payne and sticks with him, if he's chucking and missing and pushing the Knicks out of the flow of their offense when he's chucking. It's going to be interesting to see that. All right, here we go. So we're back. I think the game is going to start pretty soon. They're doing their pregame stuff right now. This was just a short little pregame live that I came on to share with you guys. Let's look over here before we cut this off. The New York Knicks, since February 1st, remember, and look, Mr. Brunson missed 15 games here. Remember this. But he was the leading scorer, 26.3 points per game since February 1st. Towns, 24. OG averaged about 21 points per game since February 1st. We need to see this OG. Maybe not necessarily against the Pistons, but we definitely need to see him for the rest of the playoffs. But I want to see it begin now. Mikal Bridges, almost 17 points a game, shot 51% from the field since February 1st. His three-point shooting, not so spectacular, about 34%, but OG's is at 39%. Towns, 41%. Brunson's three-point shooting has dipped 33% since February 1st. I expect that definitely to take a leap in the play. Or not, I don't know about a leap, but definitely he could see him go back to his season averages in the playoffs. And I do believe, and also I want to see him more in the catch and shoot situation. Same with Karl Anthony Towns. Towns is the third best catch and shoot three-point shooter in the NBA for guys that put up at least 3 shot attempts per game. You know, and have played at least 20 games. He is fantastic in that role. That's why we need him to do the pick and pops. He will be deadly from there. I want to see the Knicks build a 20-25 point lead by halftime, and then, you know, get through the third quarter and really end up pulling away in that fourth quarter to truly demoralize the Pistons. That is my hope for this game. But I don't care how it goes. I just want a W. I just want a W. A big one. Big W. And when you look at the Pistons during that same stretch, Cade, 28 points a game for him, but nobody else even averaging 20 or close to 20. Beasley at 16, Tobias at 14, about 14 and a half, Duran's at about 14 points a game. So no one else. They really don't have a really bona fide secondary scoring option where the Knicks have at least four clear scoring options. So that alone is going to make up for the Knicks. Their defense isn't at the level that the Pistons is or hasn't been since February 1st. You can see here the defensive ratings here. The Pistons are 9th with 111.9 since the first, and the Knicks 114.2. But as I showed you before, since Mitch returned, which was at the end of February, so that you take that whole month of February out. In fact, let's do it that way. Let's see how it is here. Let's do it that way. So from the 28th, from Mitch's return to the end of the season, let's see the defensive ratings now. Knicks are 8th, 111.2, and Detroit is 14th, 113.2. Let's go, Mitch. Let's go to Big Block Ness. All right, has the game started yet? I've just been talking here. All right, we're getting close. I'm going to sign off soon now because I definitely don't want to miss the beginning of this game, man. I am so hyped. So incredibly excited. I've been waiting a full year for the Knicks to get back to the playoffs and get redemption, and now we are about as healthy going into the playoffs as this team has been since that 2020-21 playoffs run. We missed the 22-23, but got back into it 23-24. No, it's the other way around. Sorry. There was that second season that we missed the playoffs when Thibs was coach. That first season, when Randall just didn't have it, the Knicks were just very thin in terms of they're kind of similar to what the Pistons are right now. Though I would say Cade, even though, well, I don't know, it's hard to say. Randall ended up being All-NBA that season. He was definitely an All-Star, similar to Cade. But Cade has more versatility to his game. But they were very similar squads, and I hope the results end up the same. Gentlemen sweep for the Knicks is my prediction here on Into the Knicks-Verse. Let's go! Let's dominate! All right, we'll see. I'm 90% sure I'll do a halftime show, but 100% sure I will be doing a post-game show of the Knicks Pistons. Knicks Pistons. All right. Thank you guys for watching this. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's fucking go, Knicks. Let's go.